Yes, so I'm Matt with Schematical. This is CloudWarGames. Okay, so what we do here is I've got an infrastructure up. All right, let me share my screen real quick if I can. All right, this is explodeme.com. Normally it doesn't look like this, but something's gone very wrong right now. Okay, so this is the first scenario you guys will be engaging. Keen observer is going to realize that something's wrong here, so feel free to go to explodeme.com. So something is broken on there, and it is your guys' job to figure it out. Feel free to communicate. This isn't a competitive round. This is a collaborative round. Mahana, would you like to share your screen and try and walk through this one? Because it is a fairly straightforward one.
Yeah, sure. I mean, we can troubleshoot it together.
Well, I think maybe it's because the page is like the design is off, like font sizes and alignments are like off. And when you open the network tab, maybe like if you press F12, or I think it's on Windows is F12. Yeah, so you could over there you will see a lot of errors, like it's failing to resolve the DNS. And also if you go to a network tab, you will see the same, like you will see a bunch of requests that failed. I'm not sure if you can open the network tab on the top. When you open the network requests in Chrome or in any tool, you will see a lot of, errors.
There you go.
You will see a lot of failed, assets that couldn't be loaded, and the error is like DNS could not be resolved, or something like that. So
we got another.
So that's the next step, then, correct?
That is the next step. Is we still haven't pinpointed where the problem is in the console. I'm going to give you a hint. Click on one of those links real quick, just so we can figure out what's missing. That one right. Oh, nope, back over where you were. Yeah, click on that there. You see what that says? It says, there you go, assets-prod.explodeme.com. If we get this to load, you fix the scenario. And by the way, I'm the only one that has write access to this thing. So you'll just have to tell me basically your thoughts on how to fix it. Juan, I'm going to pass it back to you to kind of coach him into what would be the next step here, or the team. Anybody that likes to throw out ideas. Leo, if you got an idea, throw it out too. Jonathan Limbard, by all means.
I mean, we should start off with going to the AWS console, I think. Maybe to navigate to the, I guess if we are serving static content, maybe we should have an S3 bucket. So maybe it would be a good idea to check if it exists. And then we can check the DNS and other stuff like that, but maybe other participants have ideas.
I don't see any general purpose buckets, and I saw Matt with a big smile on his face a minute ago. Oh, there they just loaded. Okay. Is there anything in those buckets?
Yeah, the CloudFront is using S3 as a source for hosting the website.
The pipeline, right?
Yes, S3 is a source. CloudFront points at S3 and pulls data from that. So notice this name of the second button or bucket there. Yep. And if you look at this bucket name, I don't know if it's this bucket name, but if one of those folders in that bucket should match the URL that you just opened up in the other tab. So we can see there it's the one that ends with VF8. So you may want to check to see if there's a folder in the root of that bucket that starts with or ends with VF8.
Yeah, this one.
Yep. So the S3 bucket is indeed intact. I'll just speed us up there. You can go ahead and click into it, but you can try and find the exact file that you've got open there, and you'll see it in that bucket, unless I've messed up really bad.
All right, so we have to look for another root cause of this problem. Is that what you're saying, Matt? This one's a swing and a miss?
Yes, that is correct. The S3 bucket is intact. All the files are there. That has not been removed.
All right. It was CloudFront the next place, or is Route 53 the next place? What do you think, Juan?
I would go to CloudFront just to see if the CloudFront is linked to the S3 bucket. But the thing is that by default, CloudFront is like a random URL. So if CloudFront is okay, probably then we have to go and check Route 53. But yeah, let's start with CloudFront just to see if they are two connected, like it has access to the bucket. Although it was a DNS error, like it wasn't an unauthorized error, so it's probably just the DNS record.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Right.
I would say that probably the DNS record is. We should probably check route 53 to see if that DNS record even exists.
yeah, maybe could save us some time because maybe if the record is missing, it would be like
Quick, the server's burning. The server's burning.
yeah. I think it's in origins tab.
So, I mean, one thing I just saw that is the configuration for CloudFront, just to kind of help you out, Mohammed, is that we, in that configuration, we do see that it is the CloudFront distribution is set up to receive traffic from explodeme.com and assets-prod.explodeme.com. That's that alternate domain name setting.
So you're saying that can be eliminated as a potential cause? Is that what I'm hearing, Jonathan?
Well, I mean, in the sort of like traffic flow, you would need, a domain pointed at CloudFront, but also CloudFront configured to accept traffic from that domain, as well as terminate TLS if you're doing secure socket layer communication, which we would be. And then the other thing would be to ensure that CloudFront is configured to point at that S3 bucket that we just looked at. But given that we are getting,
I think
the error name not resolved, that kind of points to a DNS issue, as Juan was saying.
So you think we have a problem in Route 53 instead of CloudFront?
Yeah, that's correct. I mean, we can walk through all the CloudFront configuration if you'd like to do that.
I would like to mention that maybe there is a quick way to verify if the CloudFront is actually like linked with the bucket. We could simply go to the CloudFront distribution. 1 second. Let's go to general maybe and copy the name, the one on the left, the distribution name. Yeah, and just go to the URL that is failing to load. The URL to the asset. I think it's the last tab you have opened. And just replace the explode me part with the name of the CloudFront distribution. Yeah, exactly.
Nice little hack one.
I mean, it's like instead of hitting the alias, we are just hitting the actual CloudFront. But maybe just remove the double. So it proves that CloudFront is okay because by hitting CloudFront directly, it was able to pull the file from the bucket. So it's an indication.
Great tip, Juan. Great tip.
Yeah. Good point. You just downloaded a font, by the way. You could do it with images or other stuff if you wanted to, but that's just a font.
Yeah, I
point,
got the idea. Nice troubleshooting.
All right, so we're on to our third suspect.
Mohammed, do you want to take a guess at what's wrong here? I feel like you could probably figure this out.
I'm not really sure. So,
Okay.
Mohammed, let's take a look at the URL that was broken again. Go back to the other screen. Let's just take a look at it. Probably, yeah, that one there. Look at the URL for that one. assets-prod.explodeme.com. Remember that? And let's pop back to the other screen. The Route 53. Do you see that assets-prod there?
Yeah, so that doesn't exist, right?
Indeed, is gone. We're using Terraform, but if it wasn't Terraform, I would go ahead and create a record, assets-prod. And what we're doing right now is we're doing an alias, because basically an alias is a way that it doesn't need to know like the DNS records. It'll just, you give it the resource. So in this case, it is CloudFront. And we only have a few CloudFronts, but you can see assets-prod. There we go. If you refresh what you were looking at there, it already exists, but that basically you would just hit save at that point and it would have created this. And now if we go back and look at explodeme.com, it looks rather pretty.
What a beautiful website.
Yeah, that's
that is the most wonderful template.
Yeah, I want to actually, so side note, I want to put my little comic book characters and give each of them bios in here in the about page and stuff. And so eventually I'll get around to that, but I haven't gotten there yet. Well done. All right, so this is where we do the after action report, but you guys have been communicating so well. Mahana, do you have any questions about that?
No, yeah, it's after solving it, I think it's pretty an easy issue to say.
Basically, when a request comes in, it goes to Route 53, which is basically a phone book, and says that assets-prod.explodeme.com is going to redirect to this CloudFront here, and then it's going to pull from the bucket with the latest assets from the bucket, so images, CSS, whatever. It will cache that here, so it doesn't have to do that every time, but this remembers it, and then it responds back to the internet. Well, what I did is I deleted this. This was saying, hey, where should I go to pull these assets?
You tore a page out of the phone book, the only one that they needed, and you tore it out.
Yep. Well, I didn't tear out, notice I didn't tear out the one that pointed at the Lambda. I only tore out the one that would make it look really ugly.
All right, that's it. That was the first CloudWarGames live event. Actually, technically there was one before that was a dry run, but this is the first one with the full house. We are going to do another one. All right, that should be probably whatever post you're seeing this in should have those dates in it, and hopefully many, many more. We've learned a lot on this first one. We're going to do a whole thing ahead of time where I do a pregame briefing. Again, more on that in whatever medium you're reading this. Remember, you do have to be signed up at CloudWarGames.com to get into an event, to get the sign-up link for the events. But again, that's free right now to everybody in the world, so have fun, have at it, tell your friends, invite your friends, challenge your coworkers, challenge your biggest competitor, that dev shop across the street that you just want to show them that you can handle AWS better than them. Or just have fun with it. So with that said, I am Matt with Schematical. Thank you guys for watching. Have a great time.